How's it going, everyone? I hope you all are doing well, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about my top 5 horror movies of 2023. Now, I didn't get the opportunity to see most of the horror movies that were released this year. I really only had the chance to see the ones I absolutely wanted to see or the ones that were available to me for free on streaming. And I also wanted to begin by saying that these are just my top 5 horror movies of 2023. I'm not saying that these are undoubtedly, without question, the best horror movies of 2023. I'm just saying that these are the top 5 horror movies of 2023, according to me. I'm sure you have a completely different top 5 horror movies of 2023, and that's perfectly fine. That's what makes things interesting. You know, if we all had the same opinion in the same top 5 movies, this whole video would be completely useless and not worth doing. So just keep that in mind. Okay, I'm going to kick off my top 5 horror movies of 2023 with number 5, which is Scream 6. Following the latest Ghostface killings, the 4 survivors leave Woodsboro behind and start a fresh chapter in New York City. Now, out of all of the horror movies that were released in the year 2023, I cannot think of another one that had more hype around it than Scream 6. I remember when this trailer came out, everyone was talking about it and everyone was discussing how great this movie was going to be. And don't get me wrong, I thought it was a good movie. It was good enough, obviously, to make it into my top 5. But one thing that I couldn't get over was the lack of Sidney Prescott, and for some reason, her absence in this movie, and also with the fact that these movies aren't directed by Wes Craven anymore, I've kind of just lost interest in the Scream franchise as a whole, personally. And if you still enjoy Scream, don't get me wrong, I'm actually kind of jealous of you, because I wish I could still be excited for a new movie that comes out, or whatever it is that's Scream related. But honestly, if it's not the first 4 Scream movies, if it's not done by Wes, if it doesn't have Sidney in it, then I just don't really have that much of an interest in it. I mean, I'll probably go out and see it, but it's just not the same as the original 4. But regardless, for what it was, I did enjoy Scream 6, and that's why it made it to the top 5 spot. So, coming in at number 4, we have Cobweb. 8-year-old Peter is plagued by a mysterious constant tapping from inside his bedroom wall, one that his parents insist is all in his imagination. As Peter's fear intensifies, he believes that his parents could be hiding a terrible, dangerous secret and questions their trust. In my opinion, this is one of the most slept-on horror movies of 2023. I absolutely heard no one, maybe a couple of people talking about this movie when it first came out. I'm not trying to go into too much detail with any of these movies because they are relatively new, and I know a lot of people probably haven't seen most of them yet, but this movie is a great paranormal type movie that has a phenomenal Halloween atmosphere to it. It's the perfect movie to watch during the Halloween season. There was just a lot that I really liked about this movie and that I thought worked with it. The characters were really well done, the acting was good, it had a great story, and it was very creepy, and it had a lot of really weird moments in it, and I highly recommend this movie. And that's why Cobweb is in the number 4 spot. Coming in at number 3 is Evil Dead Rise. 3 siblings find an ancient vinyl that gives birth to bloodthirsty demons that run amok in a Los Angeles apartment building and thrust them into a primal battle for survival as they face the most nightmarish version of family imaginable. I was very, very satisfied with how this movie turned out. I actually enjoyed it more than the 2013 reimagining of The Evil Dead. And I think one of the main reasons why I enjoyed this movie more than that one was because this movie seemed like it had more of an original story, whereas the 2013 reimagining was literally a reimagining of the first Evil Dead movie. So I really liked that this movie was really original and that it did something different. I also really like that this movie had a change of setting, where the previous movies mostly took place at a cabin in the woods, and this one took place in an apartment building in a city. So I really like the change of setting. I thought that really added something new to the movie, so we're not seeing the same thing constantly. And I also thought that the special effects and the makeup in this movie were very gory, very impressive. I really enjoyed what they did. And overall, I thought it was a great continuation of the Evil Dead franchise. I say it to this day, I don't think there is a single bad movie in the Evil Dead franchise. If you're looking at the original Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, Evil Dead 2013, and now Evil Dead Rise, I don't think there is a single bad movie in this franchise, and I believe that that is one of the most impressive things about Evil Dead. But overall, I thought this was a fantastic movie, and that's why I put it at the number 2 spot. I thought there were a lot of great scenes in it. I thought that the cheese grater scene was very grisly and unsettling, and I thought the spitting the eyeball scene was very funny. And I thought this movie really grasped the concept of Evil Dead, where it's both equally terrifying and funny, and that's why I liked it so much. And that's why Evil Dead Rise is in the number 3 spot. Coming in at number 2, we have Infinity Pool. While staying at an isolated island resort, James and Em are enjoying a perfect vacation of pristine beaches, exceptional staff, and soaking up the sun. But guided by the seductive and mysterious Gabby, they venture outside the resort grounds and find themselves in a culture filled with violence, hedonism, and untold horror. This is one of the most unique horror movies I think I've ever seen. It's directed by Brandon Cronenberg, David Cronenberg's son, and it's just a really unique, messed up horror movie. If you're into like gory, messed up kind of horror movies, honestly, I don't really know how else to put it. It's just that kind of messed up. The performances in it are very strong. Mia Goth in this movie, oh my god, she pretty much is one of the main reasons why I wanted to watch this movie, because I loved her performance in X, I loved her performance in Pearl, and in this she also does not disappoint. She plays this crazy character named Gabby, and the things that she says and does is just insane. Overall, I thought this movie was just phenomenal. Easily one of the best horror movies of 2023. I thought it was just really well done. The acting was great. Mia Goth was phenomenal. Everything about it I just loved, and that's why it's at the number 2 spot. And coming in at number 1, we have Talk to Me. When a group of friends discover how to conjure spirits using an embalmed hand, they become hooked on the new thrill, until one of them goes too far and unleashes terrifying supernatural forces. Out of all of the horror movies that I saw in 2023, this is by far the best. I thought it was the most well done, I thought it was the most entertaining, I thought it was one of the most unique takes on a supernatural ghost story that we've seen in at least 10 years maybe. This movie isn't the scariest movie that I've ever seen, but it is genuinely frightening. There are certain scenes in this movie where you don't expect them to happen and all of a sudden they do happen, and there's some intense gore scenes in this movie too that might be uncomfortable for some people to watch. It's a very good, very well done horror movie. There are just so many good parts to this story where you really feel for the main character and what they're going through, and you understand why they're making the choices that they make. And I really enjoyed the ending to this movie. I thought it was the perfect way to end it, and it was one of those endings where when I saw it, it made me want to immediately go back and rewatch the movie again. And that's why Talk to Me is in the number 1 spot of my top 5 horror movies of 2023. So this has been my top 5 horror movies of 2023. What are your top 5 horror movies of 2023? You can let me know down in the comments below. Also, I just wanted to thank you all for helping me reach 250 subscribers. This has been really great. I appreciate everyone who subscribed, liked, and commented so far. It really means a lot. And I know I haven't been uploading as often in 2023 as I wanted to, but in 2024 I hope to be uploading on a more consistent basis. This has just been kind of a really weird year with everything from the strike to just personal stuff. So look forward to more frequent uploads in 2024. That's all that I have for you today. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like and subscribe for more horror content like this in the future. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.